everyone, welcome back. So today we are moving on to our second exercise of our third chapter, pair of linear equation in two variables. And before we start our exercise, let's discuss some important points. And that is, for a given pair of linear equations, how do you represent linear equation? a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals 0, and when it is a pair, the next will be a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals 0. We are going to discuss the three conditions, and the first condition is if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, then the pair of linear equations is consistent and it will have a unique solution. And what about the lines? Then the lines will intersect each other when it is represented graphically. Now, what is a second condition? Second condition is if a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2, then again the pair of linear equation is consistent. And what about the solution? They will have infinitely many solutions, and when you draw a graph, the two lines are coincident. And what is the third condition? The third condition is if a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but not equal to c1 by c2, then the pair of linear equation is inconsistent and it will have no solution, and when you draw the graph, the lines will be parallel. So these are the three important conditions which you need to remember throughout the chapter. So let's start our first exercise with our question number 1. So this is our first question, and that is form a pair of linear equations in the following problems and find the solutions graphically. And the first part is 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. So what is the first step to find out the pair of linear equations? So answer, let the number of boys who took part in the quiz be x. Then I take let the number of girls who took part in the quiz be y. Then what is the condition given? 10 students of class 10, that is girls and boys together form 10. So our first equation is x plus y is equal to 10. This becomes the first equation. Now what is the second condition given? If the number of girls, what is the number of girls? We have taken it as y. So if the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys is equal to x plus 4. So this is our second equation. So these are the two equations. Now our next step is to find out the table of solution. So let's find the table of solution for the first equation. I draw the table here, writing x and y, and let us find at least 3 values. And the equation is x plus y equals 10. So we take different values of x and find different values of y. So let's take the first value of x as 6. Then what do I get y as? Y is equal to 10 minus 6. Now this you can write y is equal to 10 minus x. So when x is equal to 6, what do I get y as? I get y is equal to 4. Now when I take x as 4, what do I get the value of y? I get y as 6. So when x is equal to 4, y is 6. Now when I take the value of x as 5, what do I get the value of y? I get the value of y as 5. So when I take x 5, I get y equal to 5. Now we have derived the table of solutions for the equation 1. Now let us find the table of solutions for equation number 2. So what is our second equation? Second equation is y is equal to x plus 4. Let us draw the table of solutions and mark it as x, y, and find at least 3 values. So what will I take the first value of x? I'll take x as 0. Then what do I get the value of y? 0 plus 4. Then I get y is equal to 4. So when I take 0, I get y is equal to 4. Next, I take x as 1. Then I get y as 5. Next, what can I take the value of x as? I take x as 2 and then I get the value of y as 6. So when x is equal to 2, y equal to 6. Now we have got a solution set for both the equation. Now let's find the solution of both the linear equations graphically. So let's draw the graph. So now I have taken down and written the tables here and we are going to plot the graph. So which is the first point? 6, 4. 6 on x-axis and 4 on y-axis. So that will be a point here. Next 4 and 6. So 4 on x-axis and 6 on y-axis. So this will be a point. Then 5, 5. 5 on x-axis and 5 on y-axis. And let us join these points. You get the line like this. So this will be our line. Now, what is the equation of this line? X plus y equals 10. So let's name this line x plus y equals 10. Now let's plot the next set of points. That is 0, 4. So x equals 0 and y is 4. So the point is here. 1, 5. 1 on x-axis and 5 on y-axis. 2 on x-axis and 6 on y-axis. So the line will be like this. And extend this line. Now where does this line meets? The line meets at a point 7 and 3. So here I write the point. So in the graph, these two lines intersect at the point 3, 7. So what is our solution? Number of boys, which we had taken it as x, is 3, and number of girls who took part in the quiz, which we had taken it as y, will be 7. So this is our answer. Now let's move on to part 2. So this is a second part, that is 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 50, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Then find the cost of 1 pencil and that of 1 pen. So how do you find the answer? Answer. First we take, let the cost of 1 pencil. 1 pencil be x. Then what will you take the cost of 1 pen as? You take it as the next variable, which is y. Now by the given condition, what is given? 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost 50. So 5 pencils means 5x and 7 pens means 7y equals 50. So this is our first equation. Now what will be our second equation? 7 pencils and 5 pens. So 7x plus 5 pens, that is 5y is equal to 46. So this is our second condition. Now what is our next step to find the solution set? So let us find the table. The table for first equation. Let's write the equation here. 5x plus 7y equals 50. I write here x, y. We find at least 3 values. Now always when you get an equation like this, it is easier to make it in the form y is equal to. So let's convert this. So you get 5x plus 7y equals 50. You can write it as 7y equals 50 minus 5x. That is y is equal to 50 minus 5x by 7. And whenever you take the value of x for this solution set, you take such a value for x so that you can avoid decimals for y. So what can you take x as? I take x as 3. Then what do I get? 50 minus 5 3s are 50 by 7. So when x is equal to 3, I get y as 5. Now what is the next value which you can take for x? I can take x as minus 4. Then what do I get y as? 50 minus into minus plus. So 50 plus 5 into 4. 20 by 7. So what is that? That is 10. When I take minus 4, I get the value of y as 10. Now what is the next value which I can take? X as. If I take x as 10, then what do I get? I get 50 minus 50 by 7. Then I get the value of y as 0. So now we have derived the first solution set for the given first equation. Now let us find out the solution set for the second equation. So what is the second equation? 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. So now let's draw the table. I write x, y and find at least 3 values. For that, what should we do first? We simplify this to the form y is equal to, you get it as 46 minus 7x by 5. Now what are the values of x which I can take? I can take x as minus 2. Then what do I get y as? I get y as 12. So when x is equal to minus 2, I get y as 12. Now what is the next value of x which I can take? I can take x as 8. So that I get y as minus 2. So when x is equal to 8, I get y as minus 2. Now tell me one more value of x. I can take x as 3 so that I get the value of y as 5. So when x is equal to 3, I get y as 5. Now we have derived both the solution set. Now our next step is to plot the graph. So now I have taken down and written the tables for both the equation. Now let's plot these points. So first is 3, 5. So 3 on x-axis and 5 on y-axis is that. Now minus 4, 10. Minus 4 on x-axis and 10 on y-axis. So this is a point. Now 10 on x-axis and 0 on y-axis. So that is this. So now let's join these points. We got this line. Let's name this line as 5x plus 7y equals 50. Now, what about the next line? Now, let's plot these points. Minus 2, 12. So, minus 2 and 12. So, this is a point. 8 and minus 2. 8 and minus 2. So, this is a point. Now, 3, 5 again. So, that is 3, 5. Now let's join this. So you get it as and you name this equation as 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. So now these two lines intersect at a point. Now which is the point it intersects? It intersects at 3, 5. So let's write the point here as 3, 5. So what is our answer? The cost of one pencil, we took it as x. So therefore, the cost of one pencil is, what is the value of x here? It is 3. And the cost of one pen is y, which is 5. So this is our answer. Now let's move on to our next question, which is question number 2. So this is our second question, and that is on comparing the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2. Find if the lines representing the following pair of linear equation intersects at a point are parallel or coincident. And the first part given is 5x minus 4y plus 8 equals 0 and 7x plus 6y minus 9 equals 0. Now to find whether they are intersecting, parallel or coincident, what should you do? You have to find A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2 and compare the ratios. So let's find out the different ratios. Here A1 is equal to 5, A2 equals 7. Now B1 equals minus 4, B2 equals 6 and C1 equals 8 and C2 equals minus 9. Now let us find out the ratios. A1 by A2 is equal to 5 by 7. Now B1 by B2 is equal to minus 4 by 6. How can you simplify and write this? This is equal to minus 2 by 3. Now what is C1 by C2? It is minus 8 by 9. So now you have got all the three ratios. So now let's compare the ratios. Now here itself A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. What does this tell us? If A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, then the pair of linear equations are intersecting. Therefore, the given pair of linear equation intersects at a point. This is our answer. So now let's move on to our next part, which is part 2. Now this is our part 2. That is 9x plus 3y plus 12 equals 0 and 18x plus 6y plus 24 equals 0. So let's find out our A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1, C2. A1 is equal to 9, A2 equals 18, B1 equals 3, B2 equals 6, C1 equals 12, C2 equals 24. Now let's find out our ratios. So that is A1 by A2 is equal to 9 by 18, which you can simplify it as 1 by 2. Now what is B1 by B2? It is 3 by 6. Again, after simplification you get it as 1 by 2. Now what is C1 by C2? It's 12 by 24. After simplifying you get it as 1 by 2. So what have we got? We have got A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Now what does this condition tell us? That our pair of linear equation is coincident. Therefore, the given pair of linear equation is coincident. This is our answer. So now let's move on to our next question, which is part 3. So this is our part 3, which is 6x minus 3y plus 10 equals 0 and 2x minus y plus 9 equals 0. So now let's take down and write our A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1, C2. So what is A1 here? A1 is 6, A2 is 2, B1 is minus 3, B2 is minus 1, C1 is 10, C2 is 9. Now let's find out the ratios. They are A1 by A2 is equal to 6 by 2. After simplifying, what do you get? You get the answer as 3. Now B1 by B2 is minus 3 by minus 1. What do you get the answer as? 3 again. Now what is C1 by C2? That is 10 by 9. So how can we write these ratios as? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 but not equal to C1 by C2. Now what does this relation tell us? It says that the given pair of linear equation is parallel. So how do you write the answer? The given pair of linear equation is parallel. And this is our answer. Now let's move on to our next question, which is question number 3. So this is question number 3. On comparing the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2, find if the lines representing the following pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent. Now what is this consistent and inconsistent? When do you say that a pair of linear equation is consistent? When a pair of linear equation has unique solution or infinitely many solution, then you say that the pair of linear equations is consistent. Then when do you say they are inconsistent? When the pair of linear equation have no solution, you say that the given pair of linear equation is inconsistent. So now let's move on to part 1, that is 3x plus 2y equals 5 and 2x minus 3y equals 7. So you need to check whether it has unique solution, infinitely many solution, or it have no solution. So how do you check that? You compare the ratios. So first let us take down and write a1, a2, b1, b2 and c1, c2. a1 equals 3, a2 equals 2, b1 equals 2, b2 is equal to minus 3, c1 equals minus 5, c2 equals minus 7. Now, how did you get this c1 and c2 as minus 5 and minus 7? Because a general form of linear equation is a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals 0. c1 is on the other side. That is how we got c1 as minus 5 and c2 as minus 7. Now let us find out our ratios. So a1 by a2 is equal to 3 by 2. b1 by b2 is equal to 2 by minus 3. And c1 by c2 equals minus 5 by minus 7. What does this become? This becomes 5 by 7. So now how do we compare the ratios? Here a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2. What does this mean? This shows that the given pair of linear equation is intersecting and hence it is consistent. Therefore, the given pair of linear equation intersects at a point and is consistent. So this is our answer. Now let's move on to our next part. Now this is our part 3, that is 3 by 2x plus 5 by 3y equals 7 and 9x minus 10y equals 14. So first let us take down and write our a1, a2, b1, b2 and c1, c2. a1 is equal to 3 by 2, a2 equals 9, b1 equals 5 by 3 and b2 equals minus 10. C1 equals minus 7 and C2 equals minus 14. Now let's find out A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2. So A1 by A2 is equal to 3 by 2 by 9 by 1. What is that? It can be written as 3 by 2 into 1 by 9. 3 3s are, and you get A1 by A2 as 1 by 6. Now, what is B1 by B2? B1 by B2 is 5 by 3 by minus 10 by 1, which you can write it as 5 by 3 into minus 1 by 10. Again cancel. So, you get minus 1 by 6. Now, what is C1 by C2? Is minus 7 by minus 14, which is equal to 1 by 2. So now what have we got? We have got A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So from this condition itself you can say that the given pair of linear equation is intersecting and hence it is consistent. So how do you write the answer? Therefore, the given pair of linear equation is intersecting and hence it is consistent. And this is our answer. Now let's move on to our next question, which is question number 4. Now this is our part 4, that is 5x minus 3y equals 11 and minus 10x plus 6y equals minus 22. So let's take down and write our A1 equals 5, A2 equals minus 10, B1 equals minus 3, B2 equals 6 and C1 equals minus 11 and C2 equals 22. Now let's find out the ratios. A1 by A2 equals minus 5 by 10, which is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now what is B1 by B2? It is minus 3 by 6, which is again minus 1 by 2. Now what is C1 by C2? Is minus 11 by 22, which is again minus 1 by 2. So here you have got A1 by A2 equals B1 by B2 equals C1 by C2. Now what does this condition tell us? It says that the given pair of linear equation are coincident and they are consistent. So how do you write the answer? Therefore, the given pair of linear equation are coincident and hence it is consistent. So this is our answer. Now let's move on to our next question, which is part 5. So this is our part 5, which is 4 by 3x plus 2y equals 8 and 2x plus 3y equals 12. So first let us take down and write our A1, which is 4 by 3, A2 is 2, B1 equals 2, B2 equals 3, C1 equals minus 8 and C2 equals minus 12. Now let's find out our ratios. A1 by A2 is equal to 4 by 3 by 2 by 1. You can write it as 4 by 3 into 1 by 2 and you get the answer as 2 by 3. Now what is our B1 by B2? B1 by B2 is 2 by 3. Now C1 by C2 is equal to minus 8 by minus 12, which is again 2 by 3. Now you have got A1 by A2 equals B1 by B2 equals C1 by C2. Now what does this condition tell us? It says that the given pair of linear equations is coincident and hence it is consistent. So how do you write the answer? Therefore, the given pair of linear equation is coincident and hence it is consistent. And this is our answer. And that is all for today. We'll be continuing this exercise in the next class. So till then,